Before we get into the list, let's deal with the number in the title honestly, because it matters. 20 hours a week isn't a guarantee, and no honest source can promise you a specific number like that, because how much time AI tools actually save you depends entirely on your role, your workload, and how well you use them. What we can promise is something more useful: 10 specific, genuinely capable categories of AI tools, what they actually do well, where they fall short, and how to realistically estimate the time they could save you, based on your own work, not a number pulled from a headline. So here's what this video actually delivers. 10 categories of AI tools that are genuinely useful for everyday productivity in 2026. Real examples of tools in each category, honest limitations for each one, and a simple way to figure out roughly how much time these tools could realistically save in your specific situation, whether that's 2 hours a week or considerably more. Let's get into it. Category 1. AI writing assistants for everyday communication. Tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and similar assistants used for drafting emails, messages, and routine written communication. This is probably the most universally applicable category on this list, because almost every job involves some amount of writing, and a huge portion of that writing is repetitive in structure even when the content changes. Status updates, routine emails, meeting follow-ups. The genuine time savings here come from skipping the blank page problem. Instead of starting from nothing, you're editing and personalizing something already roughly shaped. The honest limitation, for anything requiring a specific tone with someone you have a nuanced relationship with, or communication with real stakes attached, you still need to review and adjust carefully. Treating AI output as a final draft without review is where people get burned. Category 2. AI meeting assistants and transcription tools, like Otter.ai and similar tools built into platforms, such as Zoom and Microsoft Teams, which automatically transcribe meetings and generate summaries. If a meaningful part of your week involves meetings, this category can save real time that used to go toward manual note-taking or writing up meeting summaries afterward. The honest limitation: automated summaries can miss nuance, misattribute who said what in messier audio conditions, or occasionally misunderstand context, especially in meetings with a lot of crosstalk or unusual terminology. For any meeting where accuracy of the record genuinely matters, a quick human review of the summary remains worthwhile. Category 3. AI research and summarization tools, used for quickly digesting long documents, articles, or reports into a clear summary of the key points. This includes general AI assistants used for this purpose, as well as tools built specifically for document analysis. If your work involves reading and synthesizing a lot of information, reports, research, industry news, this category can meaningfully cut the time spent on the initial digestion phase. The honest limitation, and it's an important one, summarization tools can miss context or occasionally misstate details, particularly with dense or technical material. Use these tools to identify what's worth reading closely, not as a full substitute for reading anything important yourself. Category 4. AI scheduling assistants, which handle the back and forth of finding meeting times across multiple people's calendars automatically. This is a smaller, more specific time save than some other categories, but it's a genuinely underrated one, because the manual coordination of scheduling, especially across several people or time zones, eats up small amounts of time repeatedly throughout a week in a way that adds up. The honest limitation: these tools work well for straightforward scheduling, but can struggle with complex, judgment-heavy scheduling situations, like prioritizing between competing high-stakes meetings, which still benefit from a human decision. Category 5. AI coding assistants, like GitHub Copilot, and similar tools integrated into development environments, which help write, complete, and debug code faster. For anyone doing software development, even at a beginner or intermediate level, this is one of the most well-documented categories of genuine AI-driven time savings, particularly for repetitive coding patterns and catching certain categories of bugs early. The honest limitation, and this one is significant: AI-generated code can contain errors, security issues, or simply not fit the broader context of a real complex codebase well. Experienced developers consistently describe these tools as accelerating drafting, not replacing the need to understand, test, and take responsibility for the final code. Category 6. AI-powered design tools, like Canva's AI features and similar tools, which help produce visual content, social graphics, simple presentations, basic marketing materials, significantly faster than manual design work, without requiring advanced design training. If your role involves regularly producing visual content, but design isn't your specialty, this category can save real time on work that used to require either a steep learning curve or hiring outside help for small, routine tasks. The honest limitation for genuinely important brand assets or complex design work, AI-assisted output still typically benefits from a skilled designer's review and refinement, since AI-generated visuals can look generic or miss specific brand nuance without that human pass. Category 7. AI-powered data analysis tools, which let you ask questions of a dataset in plain language and get a reasonable analysis back, without needing to write complex formulas or code. This includes AI features increasingly built into spreadsheet software, as well as standalone analysis tools. For roles that involve regularly working with data, but aren't deeply technical, this category can meaningfully reduce the time spent on the mechanical parts of analysis. The honest limitation: these tools can misinterpret a question, apply an inappropriate method to a dataset, or produce a result that looks confident but is subtly wrong. Sanity checking results against what you already know about the data remains an essential step, not an optional one. Category 8. AI customer support and chatbot tools, relevant specifically if you run a small business or manage customer communication. These tools can handle a meaningful share of common, repetitive customer questions automatically, freeing up time that used to go toward answering the same handful of questions repeatedly. The honest limitation: these tools work best for well-defined, repetitive questions, and tend to struggle with unusual situations, frustrated customers, or anything requiring real judgment, which is exactly why most well-run implementations route those harder cases to a human, rather than trying to fully automate everything. Category 9. AI workflow automation tools, like Zapier and similar platforms, which connect different apps and tools together so routine, repetitive tasks happen automatically instead of manually. For example, automatically organizing information from one tool into another without you doing it by hand each time. AI has made these tools noticeably more capable at handling messier, less structured tasks than earlier automation tools could manage. The honest limitation: setting up these automations well takes some upfront time and a clear understanding of your own workflow, and poorly configured automations can create new problems, like errors propagating quietly through a process without anyone noticing right away. This is a category where the time investment upfront pays off over time, rather than saving time immediately. Category 10. And this one is less about a specific tool and more about a general capability worth naming directly: AI-assisted learning and troubleshooting. Using AI assistants to quickly get unstuck on a task you don't fully know how to do. A formula you can't remember. A concept you need explained. A quick how-to for something outside your usual expertise. This might be the least glamorous category on this list, but it's genuinely one of the most consistently useful, because it replaces what used to be a much slower process of searching, reading through multiple sources, and piecing together an answer. Now, let's talk honestly about the 20 hours framing directly, because it's worth addressing head-on rather than dancing around it. The realistic time savings from these tools vary enormously depending on your specific role. Someone whose job is heavily writing and meeting-based might realistically save a meaningful chunk of time each week, combining categories 1, 2, and 3. Someone in software development might see substantial time savings concentrated specifically in category 5. Someone running a small business might see the biggest impact from categories 8 and 9 together. There's no single number that honestly applies to everyone, and any video claiming a specific, universal number like 20 hours is either guessing or exaggerating for a stronger headline. That's not a criticism of caring about your time. It's just an honest limitation of applying one number to a huge range of different jobs. Here's a more useful exercise than chasing a specific number. Go through the 10 categories we just covered and identify which 2 or 3 genuinely overlap with tasks that take up real time in your actual week. Those are the categories worth investing real effort into learning well, rather than trying to adopt all 10 at once, which tends to spread your attention too thin to build genuine proficiency in any of them. Let's talk about the limitations of this whole topic honestly, because a productivity list like this can easily oversell the reality. First, There's a real learning curve to using any of these tools well enough to actually save time rather than just adding a new tool to manage. The first few weeks of adopting a new AI tool often cost time rather than saving it while you figure out how it fits into your actual workflow. That upfront cost is normal and worth expecting, not a sign the tool isn't working. Second, time saved on a task doesn't automatically translate into more free time. For many people, especially in workplaces where output expectations rise alongside available tools, time saved on one task tends to get absorbed into other work, rather than becoming genuine extra hours in your day. That's a real structural dynamic worth being honest about, separate from how well any individual tool performs. Third, not every task benefits equally from these tools, and forcing AI into a workflow where it doesn't genuinely fit can create more friction than it removes. Part of using these tools well is recognizing which specific tasks are actually well suited to AI assistance and which ones are better handled the way you've always handled them. Fourth, these tools continue to evolve quickly, and specific product names or features mentioned in this video may change meaningfully over the next year or two. The underlying categories, writing assistance, meeting transcription, coding help, workflow automation, and so on, are likely to remain relevant even as the specific leading tools in each category shift over time. So here's the honest takeaway. These 10 categories of AI tools genuinely can save meaningful time for a lot of people in 2026, and that's a real, useful thing worth taking seriously. What isn't real is a single, universal number that applies to everyone regardless of their job. The more useful approach is identifying which 2 or 3 of these categories actually overlap with time-consuming parts of your specific week, and investing real effort into learning those well, rather than chasing a headline number that was never going to accurately describe your situation in the first place. If this gave you a clearer, more honest way to think about your own time savings than the version you clicked in expecting, a like helps this channel keep making grounded content instead of hype. Subscribing means you'll catch our next video, where we go deeper into setting up a few of these tools step by step. And if one of these 10 categories has genuinely changed how much time you spend on a specific task, we'd like to hear about it in the comments, since real examples from real jobs are more useful than any general list. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.